On this summer Caribbean night, as he was shipping past Ship Trap Island, our explorer Rainsford, on his way to Rio to hunt jaguars, was about to come to his greatest and most dangerous game he had ever hunted, in a hunt that would satisfy all life's hunting dreams. Harold, our explorer Rainsford, found his way to the top deck of the boat, but as the night was a choppy one, he stumbled and fell. As our explorer fell into the water and the boat was speeding away, he started swimming to wherever he could find. At first he was just swimming to get somewhere safe, but then he remembered Shipwreck Island, and he thought to himself, maybe, somehow, sometime, if he could swim long enough, he could maybe survive until he got to Shipwreck Island, and maybe, somehow, find civilization. After hundreds and hundreds of strokes, our explorer, Rainsford, finally arrived upon hearing range of the waves crashing against the rocks of a cliff, probably one of the many cliffs of Shipwreck Island. As he got closer, he started seeing the rocks, and finally, using them to help himself get up, he started climbing Shipwreck Island. As Rainsford was running through the jungle, he kept running through this long tunnel of leaf. He realized to himself that he did not know there was even any sign of anybody on this island. Then he found something on the ground, boot prints, and he ran faster and faster to try in the direction of boot prints to try and find where they came from. When he finally arrived to the residence, Rainsford realized it was locked. He started pounding on the gates, and harder, and he never ceased, until finally somebody arrived. When the pounding finally stopped, and somebody arrived, armed with an automatic pointed at Rainsford's chest, Rainsford realized they might not be as nice as he had originally thought. As Rainsford tried to start speaking with this man, he realized that he must be either deaf or mute, or both. And then another man appeared, and he started speaking. "Dear Rainsford, that man, Ivan, is mute and deaf. I believe it is better you try not to speak to him. This is my advice." "Here, Mr. Rainsford, you are on my preserve, this island. I hunt the most dangerous game." "There is game on this island?" "It's the biggest." "Really?" "Oh, it isn't here naturally, of course. I have to stock the island." "What have you imported, General?" "Tigers?" "No. Hunting tigers ceased to interest me some years ago. I exhausted their possibility, you see. No thrill left in tigers. No real danger. I live for danger, Mr. Rainsford." "You see, Rainsford, God makes some mad poets, some he makes kings, some beggars. Me, he made me a hunter. My hand was made for the trigger," my father said. "He was a very rich man, with 250,000 acres in the Crimea. He was an ardent sportsman. When I was only 5 years old, he gave me a little gun, specially made in Moscow for me, to shoot sparrows with. When I shot some of his prize turkey with it, he did not purchase me. He complimented me on my marksmanship. I killed my first bear in the Caucasus when I was 10. My whole life has been one prolonged hunt. I went into the army. It was expected of a nobleman's son, and for a time commanded the division of Cossack cavalry. My interest was always with the hunt. I have hunted every kind of game in the land. It would be impossible for me to tell you how many animals I have killed." "Now, Rainsford, I ask myself why the hunt that has so passionately admired me no longer interested me. Since you are much younger than I am, Mr. Rainsford, and have not hunted as much, you perhaps can guess the answer. What was it? Simply this. Hunting had ceased to be what you'd call a sporting proposition. It had become too easy. I always got my carry. Always. There is no greater bore than perfection. And then I realized that the one thing that brought me the most passionate from the animal was the hunt itself. And I realized that to have a good hunt, I needed an animal that could reason, that could fight itself, not just using instinct. And that's when I realized that there is one animal that I could hunt without bore. And that is what I hunt on this island. But Zaroff, you cannot mean that you hunt that animal. Why, yes, sir. I precisely mean that. But it's cold-blooded murder. Not when you think about it as a pure hunt. And then I thought you could reason better. After all, you are a hunter. But it's just cold-blooded murder. Here, Mr. Rainsford, let me show you this collection of mine, of my greatest prizes from this hunt. These are my trophies, the hardest hunt, the best rewards, my favorites. Now, sir, let me show you where I keep the hunt. Boop, beep, boop, boop. This is where I stock all of my hunt. These are going to be my next hunt, and they will be most interesting, I hope. 3 days in between, a little fun. Now, Rainsford, choose the weapon you will use to fight me. Any one of them is good, or all four, if you think it is really necessary. Thereof, I choose the katana. Rainsford, you survived. Yes, I did. And tonight, I will put you to your end. We will see. Whoever wins the battle wins the bed. And after this, our dear old Rainsford decided that he would never hunt again, and that this was definitely the comfiest bed he had ever slept in.